Wound up decking myself out and lost. I would have had the win in hand had I been given a couple more turns to buy.
We had cities this past weekend, and all of us traveled down to Sevierville, Tennessee, and it wasn't as successful a trip for me personally, but I had a blast doing it, and my son got first place, so way to go, big guy. So he's got 50 points, 150 more to go to take Daddy to Worlds. That's my key. I've decided that's the easiest way for me to get there. But anyway, I ended up playing Entei. Things didn't go the way I wanted them to. First round, I had to play against a Mega Rayquaza deck, and that was bad. I mean, it was just death, over and over and over again. I don't even think I got one hit off on it, and it was kind of a joke because there's no way I can do 210 damage. The next round after that, I play a Mega, or not a Mega, but a Glalie deck. Turns out that weakness to water is pretty relevant.
3 Glalies showed up in Sevierville.
And
more Glalies than Entei showed up.
I ran into 2 of them. So that was my other loss. Round 3, I played some random deck. It was just a new player. I won that. That really wasn't fair to him. Then round 4, I get matched up against that another Glalie deck. And then round 5, I ended up playing a girl that we knew from London, and she ended up just getting out one Pokemon. And, Entei just rode over that, and that wasn't much fair to her either. So that was pretty much it. But I got to spend the last round right beside Ryan, and that's always great. And me and him got packs, so it all worked out.
Yep, I got 15th, and Chris got 16th in terms of standings, so that gives you sort of an omen as to how well I did as well. I played Entei. I did vary the deck up from the one that top-8'd in Lexington, Louisville. I took out some cards. I put in some cards. I put in a Combat Blaze Entei for the Rayquaza matchup. Doesn't really help much when you start off Lone Shaman against Mega Rayquaza. So round by round, first round I played a Glalie deck, and that was actually a really fun match. It was a nail-biter. I did win, but basically it was because Entei gives 1 prize and Glalie gives 2. Otherwise, he would have just steamrolled me. If I'd have brought Charizard out, I'd have been screwed. Round 2, I played, let's see, what did I play second round? I lost to it, whatever it was. Third round, I played Tyler Keller and his Mega Rayquaza deck, got steamrolled because I started Lone Shaman. That's a recurring theme.
Mm-hmm.
Round 4, after our lunch break, I played a less experienced player who basically ran a bunch of Psychic EXs in the same deck, wound up decking myself out and lost. I would have had the win in hand had I been given a couple more turns to buy time, but when you have just one...
You got to tell him what was in that deck.
Oh, God. It had Mega Gengar. It had a Mewtwo in it. Had Deoxys. Let's see. What else did it have? What else did that mishmash have in it, Jamie? Do you remember?
We had to sit there and put the deck together for the guy. It had Mega Gengar. It had a Latios. It had Mega Gallade. It had Mega Mewtwo Y, Deoxys, and I can't even remember all of it.
I just remember it had exactly 1 water energy in it.
1 water energy. I think that was just for Latios. And
yeah, it was an experience, that's for sure.
It went on with a 2-1 start. That's what I thought was amazing.
And then the last round, I played a player from who it turns out he was from the London area. He was playing a dark deck. If Mega Absol had a Spirit Link, I'd probably be running it. That's what I learned from that matchup. That was actually the most fun I had the whole day. I was able to get my strategy off, yes, but also the guy was pretty cool to talk to, and sitting next to Chris was pretty awesome as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I went 2-3. Not as great as I'd liked. Half the field was from Kentucky, so that was pretty cool. Now, Jamie, let's talk about your experience.
Okay, I did a little bit better. I went 2-1, not much better, but Round 1, I go up against my worst matchup. I'm playing Metal Rayquaza. Duh. I played against Batman, and I kept knocking out his main entrance before he can get them set up, so I ended up getting the win. Round 2, I ended up playing Dalen Dockery. You guys have probably heard of him. He got top 8 at a regionals, I think, in Fort Wayne. And he was running Garatina, Tyrantrum, Bronzong. And I started out with the Lone Shaman, but with that deck, it is so fast and consistent that you don't really need anything else. So I managed to be able to pull the win off with a Hex Maniac with 6 Pokemon on the bench to knock out Garatina for the win. So I'm like, oh crap, I actually got a shot. Round 3, I ran into Zachary Haas, and he ran Seismitoad Crobat. I got to an absolutely awful start. He finally whipped out on the last energy that he needed to win, so I had 10 HP on a Rayquaza. I got my items all back, so I managed to just run through that and got everything out that I needed, but it was too little too late. He managed to bike my Bronzor on the bench for the win. Round 4, I ended up playing our buddy Jeffrey. He's running Mega Mewtwo Eviltal. He ends up taking the win on that and going on to make the top 4. Round 5, I ended up playing that Glalie deck that you ran into, and we ended up finishing it off on a tie. So I got 10th place overall. So what we had in the final 4 was Tyrantrum with Garatina Bronzong. We had Lucario Bats with Hammers. We had Mega Mewtwo Y Eviltal. And we had Raichu Bats. JD didn't make top 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up, our 2 Kentucky guys ended up getting knocked out. So it came down between Garatina and Lucario. And Lucario Bats with Hammers ended up taking the whole thing. So, typical city championships. It was a lot of fun. And I thought cities, marathons, and the city's part of the season is pretty much come to a close. We have a little like button, hit that. There's a subscribe button. You can hit that so you can get all of our future videos. If you like us, if you think we suck, let us know in the comment section down below.
Yeah, if you think we suck, tell us why we suck.
We will improve.
Or we won't. Either way, leave it below.